One of the players who came on the show actually got this one wrong.
Was it Varun Aaron?
I expect Ashwin to know all the rules.
Well, I hope I've got my answer right. I'm under pressure now because it's an umpire that's going to come on the show for the first time.
You've done your homework well, Karthik.
Welcome, Sridhar sir. Hope you're well in the lockdown. You get to see an episode. Have you got an idea about this show?
I'm happy to be on the show. And I saw one episode you did with Abhinav Mukund, which is very good. I really appreciate Abhinav's knowledge on the rules of the game. I was really, stunned at the way he answered your questions. He was absolutely brilliant. And I like the concept of the show as well. It challenges your laws of the game skills, and it was good fun. I like the way it flowed, and I'm looking forward to doing it.
So this is a special episode types because you're the fielding coach of the Indian team. All 10 questions will be about something to do with fielding laws. First one in the EC section. You've got 4 questions in the EC section. The first one coming up. How many fielders maximum are permitted behind square on the leg side at the instant of bowler's delivery?
Which format of the game?
In the limited overs.
Talking about limited overs.
Yeah.
Okay.
So is it 2 including the wicket keeper? Is it 2 apart from the wicket keeper? Is it 4 apart from the wicket keeper? Or is it no restrictions?
In limited over format, I think it is 2 apart from the wicket keeper, because wicket keeper is generally 99.99% is standing on the offside. So the rule says not more than 2 fielders allowed behind square on the leg side.
Absolutely right, sir. You've started with a single. So the next one, we're going into the second one. So
The closing fielders have to be tighter, as a fielding coach. And I don't like an opposite batsman starting off with a single. Don't give him that easy single. Make it tight, put pressure on him.
okay, then let's go quickly then. So second question. It's a free hit delivery after the fielding team has mistakenly had 3 fielders outside the 30-yard circle in the first 10 overs of an ODI. Strike has not changed. The fielding team captain brings the third fielder inside the ring, but the batsmen argue that field cannot change in a free hit delivery. What will the umpire do? Okay. So option A, the umpire keeps calling no balls for how many ever balls remain in the over. So if 3 balls remain in the over, then 3 no balls. Something like that. Option B, he allows the batsman to set the field. Option C, he asks the third fielder to leave the field and the team plays with only 10 fielders for that ball. Option D, he allows the third fielder to come inside the circle.
So basically, if the fielder is not allowed to come inside the circle, the over would never end. So logically, I'm going for the last option, which is the fielder who was outside the circle comes in and the free hit ball is bowled.
That's the right option as well. Option A was obviously not going to be the right answer. We're not going to have multiple no balls in the loop going on. You didn't want to think about option B or C? It would be fun if they just allow the batsman to set the field. Don't you think so?
Now, those 2 options looked a little over the top for me. Option B and C. So I just left it in, I just didn't allow it to register at all.
All right. We're in the easy section, so options might be a bit easy. So
if this is the easy section, I know what's coming up in the medium and the tough section is. I'm expecting something.
Okay, 2 out of 2 so far. Third question, again something to do with the free hit concept. So it's a free hit ball. The striker has not changed. Strike is same. The captain notices that the fielder at deep mid wicket is weaker than the fielder at fine leg, and he wants an exchange. Just an exchange in personal, not change of field as such. Is it allowed? 3 options for this. Option A, yes, he can exchange the fielders but cannot change the field. Option B, yes, he can exchange the fielders but with consent of the umpires. Option C, no, he cannot exchange the fielders.
Oh, you got me with this. It's a very good question for the easy round. This is a scenario which till now I mean with all the international matches I've seen, with all the free hits I've seen, never encountered. No captain has ever asked for this. At least games I've been seeing, at least an Indian captain has not asked for this. Changing of fielder. Look, to be honest, I'm taking a guess here.
Okay, or you can choose a lifeline if you want. Or if you want, you can take a guess. Your choice.
Since it is not ever happened, no, umpires. I'm just thinking aloud here. I'm not answering your question yet.
Okay.
Umpires, you have to take the. I would say option C.
Option C is right. Option C is right. I don't know if you were thinking aloud or answering my question, but it is right. I'll give it to you. Since it was, as you said, it's a pretty tough one for an easy section. Option C is right. So the rule says that for a free hit delivery, even an exchange is not allowed. So interesting rule that.
A good guess. That was an educated guess.
Fourth question coming up.
Yep.
What is the upper limit for the number of fielders allowed on the leg side in an ODI? Options. Option A is 6. Option B is 5. Option C is 4. Option D, there is no limit.
This is a straightforward one, Karthik. So I'm going for option B. The law says not more than 5 fielders are allowed on the leg side.
That is indeed right. I think because you're a fielding coach, it's probably easier for you. Not many might actually know about this. So, in fact, one of the players who came on the show actually got this one wrong. So, well done. You've started with a boundary, 4 out of 4.
Was it Varun Aaron?
It was Jaydev Unadkat. Why did you think it was Varun Aaron?
Just that I know him so well. He's a good friend of mine. So I just...
It was Jaydev Unadkat. And also a clue for you, this question or this concept might repeat in one of the questions that is coming up later on. So remember this question and the answer. All right?
Spoiler?
It is a kind of clue because you've got 4 out of 4. Let's put it that way.
So it's a incentive or some whatever you call it.
Yeah, a bonus type. So we're going into the medium section. First question in the medium section, 5th question in the challenge. This should be easy for you. A wicketkeeper's hand is marginally in front of the stumps when a bowler starts his run-up. However, the keeper withdraws his hand behind the stumps before the ball is delivered. The square leg umpire notices this. What will he do? Option A, he ignores it as the keeper got his gloves back in time. Option B, he calls it a no ball. Option C, he calls it a dead ball. 3 options.
See, the law says the gloves have to be behind the stumps when the ball is coming in, because such an incident happened quite recently. So the gloves have to be behind the stumps when the ball is coming into the gloves. So as far as my knowledge goes, that is what the law says, but I'm not sure whether it says the gloves have to be behind the stumps from the time the ball is in play. So this is where the tricky part is.
Right.
So in my opinion, the gloves have to be behind the stumps when the ball is coming in. So I'll go for option A.
Option A, ignore, or you can use a lifeline if you want.
Is that a clue?
I cannot reveal that.
Okay. I'll use a 50-50.
Okay, I'll remove option A then. Is it a no ball or is it a dead ball?
Definitely a no ball.
It is indeed a no ball. So the incident you're talking about is one of those Rishabh Pant stumpings, if I'm right? So I'm not sure if they are the same if this happened in that scenario. I can't recollect that, but if I remember right, they called it a no ball then. So the law says that the wicketkeeper shall remain wholly behind the wicket at the striker's end from the moment the ball comes into play. So you probably things that you can note down and ensure that the Indian fielders do not cross these lines. So
Sure.
who in the Indian team knows the rules in and out? Who do you think?
I would expect, obviously, Virat knows quite a bit of the rules. Rohit is someone who's very shrewd with the rules. I expect Ashwin to know all the rules of the game all the time. In the ODI team, I would expect someone like a Bhuvi to know a lot of rules. Ishi is someone who knows all the rules. Puji. So I would put my money on these guys to know most of the rules. Yeah.
That's predominant. That's quite a large number already. So, do you people in the dressing room discuss all these scenarios? Is it a thing? Has it ever happened? Like some weird scenarios?
Discuss about it when a situation arises. Most of the times. Discuss about things. We do discuss about the laws. Whatever the match referee tells us, and we do have a chat about it in the team meetings. What about the laws before the first game of the series? And after that, we only discuss points when the situation arises.
Okay, the sixth question coming up for you. You've got 5 out of 5 so far. This one, I think you should get, but might also be a bit tricky. So sixth one, a batsman hits the ball high in the air. The fielder gets under the ball and extends his sweater over his palms and catches the ball. He pulls his sweater and catches the ball with his sweater instead of taking it with his bare hands. At the time of the catch, the batsman had completed 1 run. What does the umpire decide? Okay. So option A, the batsman is out caught. Option B, not out and 1 run because they ran 1 run. Option C, not out and 5 runs. 5 runs is the penalty. Like when it hits the helmet and all that. So not out and 5 runs. Option D, not out and 6 runs, which is the 1 run they ran plus the 5 runs penalty.
That's a tricky one. It should be between option C and D because let me clarify here. The fielder has done it intentionally, right?
Yes, intentionally.
Intentionally, he's pulled his full sleeve sweater and taken the catch. So,
yes.
So I think my answer is option D.
Option D is right. 6 runs, 1 run plus 5 runs. How did you arrive at that guess? Or, sorry, the answer?
Because the number of runs you run plus you get the extra runs because of the penalty committed. It's like the same rule as a fielder using a cap.
True. In fact,
similar because you asked that question to Abhinav Mukund and I see similar question, right?
So you've done your homework, right? So let's give that to you. Well done. 7th question then. Last question in the medium section.
Okay.
Again, the ball goes high to the deep.
Okay.
2 fielders converge.
Yeah.
Both of them realize that the ball is beyond their reach. It is too high.
Okay.
So one fielder stands on the other fielder's shoulder and then takes the catch.
Okay.
The fielding team appeals.
Yeah.
What happens then? 3 options. Option A, it is not out. Option B, it is not out plus a 5-run penalty for illegal fielding. Option C is out caught. 3 options.
Ooh. Option C, out caught.
Out caught is right. You seem to think a lot, but you got the answer pretty easily.
I think I got the answer when you said, when you gave me the options. I mean, it's possible, isn't it? So many times I've seen fielders fall over each other and still take a catch.
True.
It happens in slips and, or a short leg fielder, that you're bumping into a keeper, but still someone else catches it. So there's nothing illegal about that. So that's why I thought option C was correct.
Option C is right, and it is weird scenarios, but Interestingly, these kind of weird scenarios actually make it to the umpiring exams, across whether be it ICC, BCCI, other cricket boards.
You've done your homework well, Karthik. Then I must say.
Thank you. Thanks for that. Well done. You're going really well so far. 7 out of 7 with 2 lifelines remaining. So let's see if you can make climax starts now. Let's see if you can make it 8 out of 8. First question in the tough section.
Okay.
A fielder gets a direct hit at the striker's end, but the batsman is inside the crease.
Hmm.
The ball hits the stumps and goes to the deep, and the batsmen start running overthrows.
Hmm.
In the meantime, the wicketkeeper picks up the bails and places it in their position on top of the stumps.
Yeah.
After he keeps the bail, he effects a run out with the batsman out of the ground. So somebody has thrown it from the deep, the keeper takes the ball and he runs out the batsman. Batsman is way out of his crease this time. And the fielders appeal. What will the umpire do? 4 options. Option A, he gives the batsman out, run out. Option B, it is not out. A keeper cannot replace the bails when the ball is in play. Option C, it is not out. The keeper had to remove the entire stumps. Option D, it is not out and a 5-run penalty for illegal fielding. 4 options. If you want me to repeat the scenario or the options, let me know.
Option A out.
Option A out is right. So it's a complex scenario with a simple answer. You didn't want to think about anything else.
It's out. No. If you think too much, you confuse yourself. So just go with your gut and instinct and logic.
That's the intention of some of the options. But it is interesting. There is a law that talks about remaking a wicket. So if a wicket is broken or put down when the ball is in play, an umpire cannot remake a wicket till the ball becomes dead. But a fielder can do it. So that is the tricky part over there. So since the wicketkeeper did it,
I've been in a scenario like this
okay,
in one of my club games during my playing days,
okay,
where we had to rearrange the stumps and get the player run out. It was a scenario where both batters were stuck at one end, where at the same end, but the stumps at the non-striker's end were knocked down by the bowler while running back to the stumps.
okay.
So the ball is already thrown to the bowler and he's got the ball in his hands and both batsmen are like standing at the same end.
Oh God.
So the bowler rearranged stumps, fixed it and then removed the bails and he was given out.
And
So it
still
happened
and in all this time the batsman still couldn't reach his crease.
Yeah, he couldn't reach because one, he had given up mentally,
Okay.
and 2, he didn't totally disturb the stump. It was just one stump slanted and one bail fallen off. So quickly
Okay.
he was able to keep the bails. So luckily he just trampled upon the stump a little bit with his heel or something.
All right.
This kind of thing happened in one of my playing days, and I remember vividly the batsman was given out, so that's why I
Okay.
got the answer.
Okay. And that is one of the weird scenarios that you wanted to remind
Yeah.
yourself about as well.
Your question triggered it. So,
Yeah, nice. So let's see if this question triggers something else for you. Now listen to this question properly. There might be some hidden tricks inside the question. So 9th question, it's about an one-day international match.
Okay.
An off spinner has the following fields in position on the leg side:
Okay.
mid wicket, square leg, deep backward square leg, deep mid wicket, and long on. While he is about to bowl, the batsman gets ready to play a paddle scoop shot.
Yeah.
The fielder at slip anticipates the shot and moves to leg slip before the ball is delivered and catches the ball. He takes a catch. The fielding team appeals. What happens now? So what happens now? The batsman is given out. That is option A. Option B, the umpire calls no ball and not out. No ball is obviously not out. Option C, umpire calls dead ball and not out. Option D, 5 runs penalty for illegal fielding.
I think I know the answer, but I wanted to repeat the question exactly word by word what you asked.
Sure.
Is there a trick there? I just want to know if there is a twist somewhere in the question.
Okay, so the spinner has this field on the leg side: a mid wicket, a square leg, a deep backward square leg, a deep mid wicket, and a long on. So when
Square leg? No, basically he's got two fielders. Square leg is behind square or in front of square? Is it?
No, the front of square leg, so that's not a problem.
Square leg is in front of square, the long on is in front of square, the mid wicket is short saving one and deep mid wicket.
Yeah.
So he's got one fielder behind square on the leg side.
One fielder. Only one.
But there are already 5 fielders on the onside. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So you got that part right. So he already has 5 fielders on the leg side. So while he's about to bowl, basically when the bowler is about to bowl, the batsman gets ready to play a paddle scoop. The fielder at slip anticipates it and moves to leg slip and takes a catch.
Does he take the catch?
Yeah, he moves and takes a catch. He moves and takes a catch. What happens now? Options: out, no ball, dead ball, or 5 runs penalty.
I think I know the answer, but just to make it a little dramatic, I would like to call my friend.
Please do. Who's this friend?
I'm going to call C. Shamsuddin.
Okay. Go ahead.
Okay.
Let's hope he doesn't confuse you. Let's see.
I'll put him on speaker.
Sure.
He doesn't know that I'm going to call him.
Well, I hope I've got my answer right. I'm under pressure now because it's an umpire that's going to come on the show for the first time.
So, Karthik, I've got ICC panel umpire Shamsuddin here with me online.
Okay. Welcome, sir. Welcome to the show over phone, Mr. Shamsuddin.
Thank you.
So quickly, मैं आपको question. Karthik, do you want to ask the question or should I ask the question?
You ask, sir. If you've got the scenario wrong, then I'll come into the position.
Simple सा question है. मेरे को fielding coach करके एक question पूछे, इसका जवाब में मुझे आपका मदद चाहिए. Spinner bowling to a batsman, already 5 fielders on the onside. Out of which one fielder is deep backward square leg.
Okay, this is one day or T20?
One day game.
Okay.
So as the spinner is delivering the ball, batsman shapes up for a paddle sweep. So as the batsman is shaping up for the paddle sweep, the slip fielder quickly moves to leg slip and takes the catch.
Okay.
And he moves to leg slip as the batsman is taking shape before the ball is bowled. Isn't it, Karthik?
Yes.
जैसे ही बैट्समैन पोजीशन में आ रहा है, बना रहा है, जैसे ही बॉल जैसा रिलीज कर रहा है, he moves and he takes the catch.
See, there are two things. If he moves before the batsman has made any attempt to play the ball.
Okay.
Okay, at the instant of delivery, because fielders are there on the onside, the umpire should call and signal no ball.
That is, if the fielder has moved before the batsman has played a shot.
Has made any attempt.
तो इसका
Any
मतलब
action he has initiated before he has initiated any action. इसका मतलब ये है पेडल शॉट खेलने का जो एक्शन है उसका वहां से वो फील्डर मूव हो सकता, उससे पहले मूव हुआ तो नो बॉल हो जाता.
ठीक है, इसका मतलब यहाँ पे पैडल शॉट खेलने का एक्शन कर दिया बैट्समैन, उसके बाद ही फील्डर मूव.
एक्शन स्टार्ट हुए जब से मूव कर सकता, खेलने की जरूरत नहीं है.
ओके.
एक्शन स्टार्ट हुए जब से मूव कर सकता, देन इट विल बी ए फेयर डिलीवरी. एक्शन स्टार्ट होने से पहले अगर मूव कर दिया एंड देयर आर 6 फील्डर्स एट द इंस्टेंट ऑफ डिलीवरी, इट विल बी नो बॉल.
So there you go, from one of the best umpires in the country, if not in the world, C. Shamsuddin. The answer for your question is out.
Let me just clarify. He plays the shot as he said, but when he takes the catch, he is the 6th fielder on the leg side.
So what? He's only moved after the batsman has initiated a shot. So it can happen, like batsman plays a sweep shot. It's a top edge going to short fine leg. Short third man can run and catch.
The law actually says that movement 28.6.1 of ICC. I can actually clarify it with the umpire if he's online. He can actually help me out maybe. And I can give you a bonus question if I'm wrong. So it says that a movement by any fielder in response to the stroke that the striker is playing or his action suggests he intends to play, that is allowed. But in all the circumstances, clause 28.4, which is about limitation of onside fielders, shall apply. So the law actually says that in all circumstances, that clause will still apply. Basically, the 5 fielders on the leg side, that clause applies, is what the rule says.
What he is saying is Law 28.4 says,
What rule is it?
Law 28.4 of the ICC clauses or code is if there are more than 5 fielders on the onside when the catch is being taken, it is not out.
That is normal. It has changed now. That rule has not changed.
Okay.
By the action of the batsman, there is another clause in the playing condition. It says whenever a batsman takes any action to play a shot,
Okay.
it can be reversing, it can be pedal shot, it can be any other shot.
Okay.
Okay.
To change its direction
Okay.
towards that shot.
Okay.
And he
Yeah.
is into the slipper
Yeah.
and he is playing a pedal shot.
Yeah.
When the moment the batsman initiates
Yeah.
to play a pedal shot,
Yeah.
from that moment, that fielder is allowed to change.
Okay. Perfect. It's very clear.
Okay, he can come on the onside. There is another clause in the second.
Perfect. Perfect.
If you want, I will just go through where it is. Try to find it. I'll tell you that clause also.
Okay, Samshu Bhai. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for your time. Big thanks from CNN News 18 as well. From my side.
Absolutely. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Thank you for coming online. Thank you. Thank you, Samshu Bhai. Thank you.
So his clarification is that if it's out, is it? Okay. I'll do one thing. I'll note this. I'll keep this on pause because the answer I had noted, according to the ICC One Day International playing conditions, is that it is a no ball because as I just read out, 28 point. Maybe I'm wrong, so I'll do my homework later and then I'll figure out what to do with this question.
28.4 cannot apply because it can be like, say for example, I've got 5 fielders. Okay, let me just say.
Yeah.
I've got a short fine leg, I've got a deep square leg, deep wicket, I've got a country and I've got a long one. Okay? And batsman plays a slog sweep and it's a high catch, falling somewhere in the middle. So my short covers fielder can run and take the catch.
Yeah, he can. But basically before
He'll be the 6th fielder. So once the batsman gets into a position of playing a shot, that means which initiates his front foot, back swing, whatever, the fielder can go wherever he wants to take the catch. So
That's
here
right.
in your question, it's quite evident that the fielder runs from slip only after the batsman settles into a paddle sweep. Which means he can take the catch at short fine leg or leg slip.
All right, I'll take your answer then. I'll also give you a bonus question. Also, you gave a very interesting scenario about, a fielder going from covers and taking a catch at mid-wicket. But I think the difference is that, I'm just thinking aloud. I think the difference is that in terms of the cover going to mid-wicket and catching it, his movement to the leg side will happen after the shot is played. Here,
Correct.
the fielder moves from slip to leg slip, that is from offside to leg side, even before the ball is bowled. So that might be
The fielder can start moving when the batsman gets into a shot-making position. The minute the batsman starts getting to a position to play a shot, fielder can start moving.
true.
So the leg side rule doesn't count after that.
Okay. That's I'll keep it as we've discussed a lot of interesting scenarios around this question then, and then as we note, a lot of things with umpiring and laws is about how an umpire perceives a certain action. So it's an interpretation of the umpires basically. So it can differ from one umpire to another. So I'll give you a bonus question also anyway because you've given me a very interesting scenario. You're doing your warm up and all that already, or are you feeling?
Back is a little tight.
Okay. All right. So the next question in the tough section. A batsman hits the ball in the air. The fielder in the deep gets under the ball. Accidentally, it hits the fielder's hat and then somehow lodges into his sweater. At the instance of the ball hitting the fielder's hat, the batsman had run 1 run. The fielding team appeals after the ball is stuck in the sweater. What does the umpire decide? 4 options. Option A, the batsman is not out. Just not out. Okay. Option B, batsman is not out. Batting team gets 5 runs penalty because the ball hit the hat. Option C, batting team gets 6 runs. That is 1 run plus 5 runs penalty. 1 run that they had run. Option D, the batsman is out, caught. 4 options.
Option D.
Option D is right. Even though it gets stuck in the sweater or it touches the hat, do you think it's allowed? How did...
It's unintentional. It's misjudging, hitting the head. And then if it comes, he obviously gets stuck in the sweater and then the fielder reacts to it. It's out, caught.
Out, caught is right. Out, caught is absolutely right. And your explanation is 100% right as well. So you've got all questions. You've got all questions right. I'm going to give you a bonus question as well. Bonus question. Ready?
Yes.
If you get this right, you can do a double celebration. So, last question. Without informing either umpire, a substitute player replaces a fielder at third man in the middle of an over.
Yeah.
The very next ball, he takes a catch. The ball goes there and he takes a catch.
Yeah.
At the instance of the catch, the batsman had completed 1 run. What will the umpire do? Option A, dead ball. Option B, dead ball plus 1 run. Option C, batsman is out. Option D, dead ball plus 6 runs, which is 1 run plus 5 runs penalty.
I think it's option D.
Option D is right again. Now you can do your celebration.
Yeah.
You got everything right. Well done. It was a fielding special episode, and as the fielding coach of the Indian team, you got everything right. So, how does it feel? You seem to be very good with the laws. Have you been interested in all this?
When I was coaching the under-19 team of Hyderabad early days in my coaching career, I used to carry the law book in my bag.
Oh, no wonder.
Lest I come to a situation where I'll need to, go through the laws. So, although I didn't require that book, used to use that book too many times, but I used to carry it. And I don't know, man, I just got the answers. But I'm glad I was under a little bit of pressure because being a coach of the fielding coach of the Indian cricket team, if you don't get the rules, laws right, there could be a lot of backlash.
Oh, yeah. I was under pressure as well. When I was setting the questions. I wanted to make it a special episode only about the fielding questions, and we've covered quite a lot of aspects about fielding, I would think, starting from wicketkeeper's position to how many fielders on the leg side to accidental catches and all that. So it was a very interesting episode. Thanks to you, and you got everything right. So well done.
Thank you very much. 2 very good questions. One about the wicketkeeper and the other one about the paddle sweep, the fielder changing positions. I like the wicketkeeper. That was really interesting.
Yeah.
Something which I learned today. So that's a good point. And I'm glad.
It was a very interesting scenario, so I'll have to go back and figure out which one is the right answer as well. As Mr. Shamsuddin said, he gave us a very good insight into how the law is interpreted also. So do you want to challenge anyone?
I would like to challenge Hanuma Vihari on this laws of the game quiz and get better score than me, which is 10 on 10.
Let's see if he can do that. Thanks a lot for your time, sir. Great episode. I had great fun doing this. Thanks a lot for your time.
Thank you. I enjoy doing it, and best wishes to the channel.